I'm Kerry Fink, and on behalf of Joe Steckler and the entire Helping Seniors team, welcome to Helping Seniors Update. It's Monday. It is the 3rd of August, and the good news is the hurricane did pass us by over this weekend. So that was a very fortunate event because it sure didn't look good as they were going into Saturday, but miraculously it kind of stayed offshore, and that's good news for us here in Brevard County because we have a lot of things we're all working with all at the same time. Hurricane season being one of them, COVID being another, but together we'll get through it all safely. And that's one of the reasons why we want to do the Helping Seniors Update. And that's one of the reasons that I asked Kim Bernard, who's our education specialist, if she would be kind enough to take a few minutes out of her day and join us. Normally, she's busy nonstop on the telephones. She manages and operates and takes care of everything going on with the Helping Seniors Senior Information Line. So how are you today, Kim?
Doing good, Kerry. How are you doing?
Good. Well, all is well. And I just wanted to kind of, first of all, tell you thank you for doing a good job of taking care of seniors as they call in. I know Joe and I did quite an extensive Helping Seniors update on Friday where we had an opportunity. We covered a lot of great ground. We talked about the exciting things coming up with the Helping Seniors Directory, all the exciting things coming up with the Helping Seniors Travel Club. And also, it was really just a fun day because we were talking about all these fun things, including the Helping Seniors Car Raffle coming up on October 10th, 2020. But to make all that happen is one set of things, but you're the one that really makes the important things happen, which is helping the seniors here in Brevard County. And so one of the things that I wanted to ask you about today, Kim, was a little bit about the calls that you get coming in, and also how do you build the resources? How do you know who to call or who to connect the senior with when they call in so that we can get them going in the right direction?
Well, I primarily use our senior team directory because the people that we do have in our directory are very trustworthy. And I always get compliments on the individuals that I do send out to our seniors in need. And if a senior needs something that's not in our directory and I have an idea, I'll go online and do a search. And I primarily really enjoy using the Better Business Bureau because that really does help me. I had recently a senior that called in and she needed hurricane impact windows and she wanted doors as well. And she had an idea of a business that she wanted to use. And I said, well, let's not make a phone call to them just yet. Let's look them up. She did not have a computer. So I went ahead, looked them up, checked the Better Business Bureau, and unfortunately they were not credible. It was not something that I would recommend to anyone.
Well, and that's a clear example of where the lady did a smart thing by giving you a call and letting you do a
Right.
little bit of research to find out what's going on. Joe and I were talking about that a little bit last week on the radio. He had somebody approach him at church where they had found somebody, I guess it was a business person, they had found somebody that supposedly could help with COVID relief and those kind of like funding things. And Joe looked into all that and found out it was actually fraudulent.
Ooh.
So one of the reasons to be here is to be, you and Joe in particular are excellent watchdogs trying to make sure that we keep our seniors safe and getting the right resources that they need. And that's one of the reasons why the senior resource the directory is so important because it really tags to those things. And I wanted to say, first of all, Joe, because of his background, creating the Joe's Clubs, getting the Alzheimer's Foundation established and all that. And then now, almost 10 years ago, since that time, we've been helping seniors of Brevard and working to make sure we connect seniors to resources. And I know he put together a real good list of people that we should be aligned with to get seniors going in the right direction. And you have really expanded and built and improved and just made sure that we have, I guess, probably like the most up-to-date book so that you know how to guide seniors through these things.
Oh, definitely. And I also guide them based upon my own personal experience as well, because I am also a caregiver too.
Mhm.
So even just as an example with COVID-19 going on right now, our seniors don't want to go into any medical facility of any kind, especially for lab work. That's their routine. So they know what medications need to be changed, if anything at all. And for example, my own elderly mother, she is not going to go to a lab to have work done. So I did my own researches for her, and found 2 locations. I got 2 phone calls back, but I basically took the first one because it needs to be done. And they're going to be here in the morning and do the blood work and take it and have it processed. And it saves her from going into a lab being very afraid of the COVID virus.
I was thinking about, we had Kelly McDavid Rallis was our guest on the radio show with her company, Home Health Care Resources Corporation. And, we were sharing on the radio that as we've been doing these Helping Seniors updates, and I know you find the same thing, as we call around to people who are part of the Helping Seniors Network. And I'm talking about both places where seniors live, like, some of the assisted livings and things that are connected with Helping Seniors, but also with the home health agencies who have been very diligent about safety standards and doing all the right precautions about COVID-19. And really, the reality is we just haven't seen it inside that, because everybody takes it that seriously, the needs of seniors. And I was going to ask you a little bit about that. It sounds to me like you're really finding those resources for a time just like this.
Oh, definitely. And I always have to make phone calls to see who's open, who's doing what. Sometimes places have limited hours. I have my people who need food pantries, and they're only open certain days from certain times. And it's very critical to know these things, because seniors, especially if they don't get out, they don't want to get out, they don't want to pay for a service to deliver food. Some of the places have been just fantastic in helping the seniors, because they know that they can't get out. Meals on Wheels, I mean, fantastic people.
When we look at the people that you're able to help by getting them connected to a resource, they really, we were talking about this before, that people know when they call you that they're going to get somebody who cares about what's going on. Not only who's knowledgeable, but who's empathetic, who understands, who's walked through this as a caregiver, understands a lot of this. And, both in terms of your educational background, your work experience, and all the things that make you who you are, you've really taken it seriously to try to do the right thing and help seniors get through this. And I was just thinking about just the conversation we were having. You told me about a gentleman who had called in, actually, and I just want you to tell this story, because it's so typical, I guess, of the kind of thing that you run into.
It is. I just had a gentleman, he's 90 years old, and he literally asked me, so what about your outfit? What does your outfit do? What do you people do there? And I explained, who we are, what we do, what I do as an education specialist. And he was thrilled to pieces. He was so happy. And I asked him immediately, is there anything that you need right now? And he's like, oh, gosh, no. But if I do, I know who to call.
I can tell you, whenever we would be out at senior expos and things like that in pre-COVID days, and looking forward to being able to get back to those safely. But, people would often come up and they would take, we call it a rack card. It's a little, almost like brochure kind of thing that just basically has our phone number and says, give us a call. And people would pick those up and they say, well, I'm okay, but there is this lady down the street, and I'm going to make sure she gets this. And, that's the thing. People sometimes say, well, Kerry, is it like people just call up and get a referral and then that's it? And I said, no, you have no idea how much time Kim invests into making sure that we're doing something correct for the seniors. Can you just tag on to that?
It's more than just a referral. It's more along the lines of a personal chat. We just sit and chat. We just sit and talk, and one thing leads to another. One thing is, first we're talking about wills and the estate, and next thing we're talking about, I've been having this tooth pain for a long time now. Can you recommend a dentist? Things like that. And before I know it, I've given them 5 resources already.
Yeah. And many of the times too, as I understand both from you and Joe, that sometimes when somebody presents a thorny or a complex scenario, it may take you multiple calls before you're able to get that moving in the right direction. But rather than calling the number, and I'm going to get you to give that number here in a second, but rather than calling a number and getting a recording, like, you got a voicemail machine, or you got a, press 1 for this, press 5 if for that. You actually get a person on the phone who cares.
Right, exactly. And 9 times out of 10, it's something that I've dealt with myself as a caregiver. And it's not just the elderly that I talk to. I also talk to the caregivers, the family members who say, oh my goodness, I have to quit my job. What do I do? I have to take care of my grandmother, take care of my mother, my father, whoever it might be. And when they sit there and they talk to me, I would say probably within the first 5 minutes of the conversation, they sit there and say, huh, wow, someone I can actually relate to. Can
Yeah.
I call you back? And I'm like, sure, call me whenever you want. My phone calls are not just limited to a few minutes. It could be ongoing. I get people that after they talk to me, they say, I'm going to call you back. Maybe a few days or somewhat, but I find they call me back the following week. They say, oh, do you remember me? And I say, sure, I remember you. Of course I remember you. Oh goodness, I have this other problem I need you to solve.
And that's one of the reasons I often talk about the fact that I always call our organization the little organization that could, because when
Yes.
Joe founded this, like basically almost 10 years ago now, this little organization, a nonprofit that exists basically through the generosity of people who support the work of helping seniors, has helped more than 3,000 families to date. And a lot of times, you're taking someplace between 100 and 125 calls in a month, and some are real
Right.
simple. Here's a phone number, you're good to
Right.
go. But
Uh-huh.
many of them end up becoming, like you said, complicated stories. So how do people get in touch with you? What's the phone number? And let's go through that.
So they can call the basic numbers, the 321-473-7770, and they get right in touch with me. They're not going to get, press number one for the secretary, press number two for reception or whatever. There's no there's nothing like that. They get me directly.
Kind of cuts through all the red tape too,
Oh, it
when you
does.
think
Oh,
about it.
absolutely, because it's my direct line and I answer it immediately.
Yeah,
And
it's terrific.
if I'm on the phone with another caller, then of course I can't just cut them off. I have to take care of them first. It's in the order in which it's received. But you will never get a recording that says she's not here. Call back or what have you.
No,
I'll
thank you
look
for
right
your
there.
diligence. And people who call the Helping Seniors helpline have a high rate of satisfaction. And I'm always surprised, but it's a testament to what you and Joe have been able to put together in terms of resources and knowing how to cut through red tape and where to go to get the right answer for the right question. So if you're watching this and you haven't, or maybe it's not you, it's maybe somebody that you know that could benefit from the Helping Seniors information line, make sure they get that number, that 321-473-7770 number. It's also a great number if you're a business and you want to get behind the work of helping seniors, to give Kim a call. She can talk to you about the sponsorship. She can talk to you about what we do with the Helping Seniors Directory, which is so exciting because we were talking, it's one thing to have an electronic directory, which we do, and we're in the major process of a huge upgrade that will make it even much more user friendly than it is now. But Kim, you had mentioned the point that you still have a lot of people who call you that don't have access. They're not comfortable with computers, or they don't have access to a
Right.
computer, and they need your help to find those numbers. And that's why we also publish the directory in Senior Scene magazine, and excited about that partnership because now, whether you get it in the magazine or online, you're getting good quality contacts. I was going to get you to say something towards that.
Oh, absolutely. Many of the time, I have seniors that call in and say, I don't own a computer, let alone know how to use one. And I'm on my computer, it's right in front of me. So if they say they need a certain service that we do not have in the directory, then I'm just going to go ahead and do a search and find the closest service that they're looking for to their home,
Mm-hmm.
because that's very important. I'm not going to go choosing something that's up in Orlando. So if they're living in Satellite Beach, then I'm going to find something that's closest to them.
Right. You
Huh?
find resources and you're vetting out the resources
Right.
so seniors
Mhm.
know that they're getting good, trusted help for
Right.
the things that they do. Well, Kim, I thank you for taking time out of your day to help us along
Anytime,
with
Kerry.
explaining what's going on with the Helping Seniors helpline. I just wanted to ask if you had any comments or things you wanted to share before we close out today's Helping Seniors updates.
Well, it's hurricane season. I encourage you to get prepared. Don't get prepared or think you're going to be prepared the day of. If
Yeah.
you hear something, if you hear something on the TV, and you start getting a little fear and thought in your mind, that's probably your cue to go out and get what it is that you need to be safe, and make a plan. Have an evacuation plan. If you have pets, make sure that you can take them with you to a shelter that allows pets, or go with family that can safely house you.
Such good advice, and especially since we were very fortunate this past weekend.
Mhm.
So let's use that time now to get set and be sure that we are prepared. Always being prepared is a good thing to do. Well, and that's part of it, actually, when you think about Joe's whole mission for us with helping seniors is helping folks with their aging plan so that they are prepared to meet whatever circumstances that are coming at them. So again, that senior information line, 321-473-7770. You can give Kim a call for help. You can ask her about getting in the directory if you're a business or organization that helps seniors, or sponsorships, or even if you just want to get those car raffle tickets for the
There.
October 10th Helping Seniors Car Raffle. And the grand drawing is coming up at the American Muscle Car Museum. So thank you, Kim, for joining us
That's
today and
okay.
taking time away from the phone for just a minute for us.
That's okay.
And folks, we'll be back on Wednesday with the next edition of Helping Seniors Updates. Have a good week. Stay safe until then.